Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first day of September at the One Dharma Temple. As we enter September, we'll soon witness the changes of the season. We all know that nothing stays the same, neither in nature nor in our lives. So understanding and embracing the changes is a crucial skill for our well-being. So this morning, together with our retreat group, Embracing Change, we'll contemplate the concept of change. To begin, our friend Jason will guide us in a Qigong exercise. So please all rise and stand in front of your mat.
Good morning. Let's begin with the starting position, which is just your feet shoulder width apart, standing comfortably. This is actually the most important position of Qigong. It's how you start your intention for the practice. So let's just stand here and think about our intention for today and for this next 10 minutes or so of awakening our body and creating some vitality for our practice. So you can imagine roots growing out of the bottom of your feet and going down deep into the earth. Knees slightly bent. The top of your head growing taller to the sky. Arms relaxed at your sides. Whole body is relaxed. And we're just going to inhale and shrug our shoulders. And then let them drop with a sigh. Let's do it again. Inhale. One more time. Inhale. I feel better already. Now let's just begin to shake our bodies very loosely. Our arms are loose. Our legs are loose. If we were children, this would be a lot easier. So just imagine that you're a kid playing outside, just having fun and dangling your body. Your brain is shaking. Your ears are dangling. Your eyes are dangling and shaking. Your tongue and your teeth. Your throat is getting loose. Your shoulders, elbows, hands. Your chest and torso. Your whole spine is dangling freely from your neck all the way down to your tailbone. Tops of your legs. Your knees are bouncing. Shins, ankles, feet. All of your energy is organizing and getting back into its rightful way and balance. And just like you're shaking water off your hands, we're going to shake in front and down. Just getting water right off and behind, to the sides, up, and back down again. And then come to a stop with your hands over your lower dantian. Just go inside for a second and notice if you feel any different than when we started even a minute or two ago. And nourish your qi. You are porous. The qi in the environment is exchanging with you, and your qi is exchanging freely with the environment. We're going to drop our hands to our side. We're going to do a little bit of a heart opening practice. So the way you do this is you're going to inhale, put our left hand on our heart, and then we're going to extend out. And as we do, we look away at the same pace, our arms going there, stretching and opening your heart. Exhale, moving the head and the arm at the same pace back to the beginning, and then inhale that chi into your heart and drop your hands. And the other side, inhale up, and then we're going to go, which way do we go? This way? And left hand out, and look to the right. Exhale, opening the back of the heart, and inhale the chi back to you. We're just going to do this a few times. Down. Inhale. Open. Exhale, moving your head back to the center. And inhale into your heart and down. Feeling that heart opening and filling with energy. Inhale up. Stretching out to the horizon. Exhale to the center. Inhale back to the heart. Let's do one more each side and down. Inhale up. Stretch that heart. Feel it opening. Exhale, moving the head and arm back at the same pace. Inhale down. And inhale. Open. Exhale, move your hand to the center. And inhale back into your heart and down. Now we're going to do both sides at the same time, but as you do it, you look up instead of looking to the side. So exhale and looking up, opening that heart. Bring your hands to the center, rounding your back a little bit, opening the back of your heart, and inhale in and down. Inhale. Big inhale as you're looking up. Exhale, rounding the back, opening the back of your heart, and inhale all of that chi into your heart center and down. One more time. Inhale. Open, look up. Exhale. Bring all of that chi into your heart and down. Standing here for a moment, imagine a lotus flower on the seat of your heart. And as the petals open with each inhale, imagine a beautiful, sweet perfume of love starts to permeate your body. And as it exhales, it spreads to every cell. Inhale, it lets out a beautiful perfume of love. Exhale, it spreads to every cell in your body. And as this perfume is building and spreading, imagine it could begin to go through the pores of your body and fill the space around where you're standing. You're standing now in this beautiful perfume of the heart's love. And as you inhale, imagine it can spread into the entire room. And this entire room is now filled with this beautiful perfume and the scent of the heart. And we're going to take our hands and we're going to begin to stir this energy. First, right around our sides. Imagine we're standing in like a bowl and this whole room is filled with this heart's energy, and we're mixing this heart perfume that we're all standing in. Inhaling, exhaling. And this heart's perfume is starting to get dense where we could actually begin to feel this energy all around us. And you go wider and wider until you're all the way out to the edges of this room. And now you're stirring all of the energy into this room. And we're going to take it and we're going to put it and pack it in each one of our chakras. So grabbing that energy and putting it into the first chakra, to the second chakra, into the third chakra, into our heart, into our throat, into our upper dantian, into our crown. Then we're going to bring our hands down, cross them over, and up into a funnel. And just stand here and feel the connection you have with the heavens above and the earth below. You are a channel for this energy that's now flowing through you from the sky and the celestial energies all the way to the earth. And the earth through your body up to the sky. And imagine now you have a chi ball in your hands. Your hands, you could feel it. You could move your hands in and out and start to feel this ball of chi. And we're going to start moving it just like this, like in a figure 8 pattern. Down, all the way down. And turn to one side and begin to hold this chi and just do this rocking back and forth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And come to the center, still holding that ball of chi, taking it up, offering it to the sky, bringing it down, dipping it and infusing it with the earth's energy, bringing back up, and now doing the other way. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bring it to the center, bringing it up to the sky, infusing it with the celestial energy, and down, dipping it in the earth's energy, and then back up. And just for a moment, imagine that this chi has a mind of its own. And just on your own, begin to just follow it and see where it wants to go. Imagine that you're following now this energy and it can move wherever it wants to freely. You're just watching it and following it and learning from the energy in your hands. It can go anywhere. Just having fun and playing with the energy and the chi. We're going to take this energy, bringing it right back in front, and begin to pack it down more and more dense until we get it into a white, beautiful, bright pearl. And then we're going to place it into our lower dantian, where it's going to be for the rest of our practice today. Thank you. Please remain standing.
Thank you, Jason. Now our practice will continue within bowing form. So please look up this circle image in our altar. It is called Ilwon-sang, the Dharma Kaya Buddha fourfold grace, which represent the truth of the universe. There is no beginning and no ending, and the principle of cause and effect. Please join your palms together, your minds and hearts together. Let us offer 4 bows in standing posture. I bow in gratitude to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite beneficence of nature and the universe. I bow in gratitude to the grace of parents, honoring the beneficence from parents, ancestors, and all those who have had a nurturing role in my life. I bow in gratitude to the grace of fellow beings, recognizing the truth of interconnectedness. I bow in gratitude to the grace of laws, which guides us, protects us, and promotes justice. Now please be seated. Sitting meditation continues with the guidance from Kathy, our lay minister.
Sit comfortably on the floor or in a chair. Breathe in Grab all your tension and breathe it out. Open up your chest and heart. Stretch up tall and align your spine from your neck to your tailbone. Relax your shoulders and arms. Then allow your hands to rest on your knees. Bring your attention to your breath. As you exhale, release all mental and physical tension. Invite your attention to abide in your chi energy field, which is called Danjan. This is located about 2 inches below your navel and is the power center for your breathing. Gently open your eyes and gaze downward over the end of your nose and to the floor. Keep your mouth closed and allow the tip of your tongue to rest gently against the roof of your mouth. When your mind is concentrated and calm, pure and clear saliva may gather in the mouth. You may swallow it. Relax your facial muscles and notice your gentle smile. If your face or body begins to itch, do not scratch. This is just a sign that energy is circulating in your body. Simply note the itching and let it pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly, while you maintain a calm stillness and do not interrupt others. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be discouraged or disturbed by them. Simply focus on your breathing without reacting to or playing with those thoughts. Recognize them as thoughts, and they will disappear by themselves. And remember to keep bringing your awareness back to your Danjan breathing center. If you continue practicing meditation for a long period of time, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation, in which the mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused, and at peace, with no distinction between self and others, time and place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, aware of our ever calm and ever alert spirit.
Sutra Chanting Meditation, pages 4 and 5. Sutra Chanting Ilwonsang Vow and Heart Sutra, pages 4 and 5. Ilwonsang Vow. Ilwon is the realm of samadhi, beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and non-being, origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and lost the true nature. All Buddhas enlightened, mastered unenlightened people and sentient beings. One manifests as both permanence and impermanence, fused as permanence. One unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is fused as impermanence. One unfolds into infinite world through cycle of formation, duration, extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according how we use the minds and bodies in the four forms of earth. We transform to 6 forms of existence, progressing or regressing with grace, arising from harm, from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholehearted, modeling ourselves after Ilwonsang Dharma Kaya Buddha, by cultivating minds and bodies, deeply knowing human affairs and universal principles, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, attain the great empowerment of Ilwon and become one with nature of Ilwon. Heart Sutra. The Buddhist tattva of great compassion, when deeply practicing prajnaparamita, realized that 5 aggregates are empty, and thus became free from all suffering and distress. So Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form is emptiness. State me true of sensations, perceptions, impulses, and consciousness. So Shariputra, all dharmas are empty, they do not or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease in emptiness. Form, no sensations, no perceptions, no impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no no mind, no one, no by ear, no tongue, body, oh mind, consciousness, no ignorance. Extinction of ignorance, no old days and death, no extinction of them, no suffering. Cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, no past, no wisdom, no attainment. Nothing to attain, the Bodhisattva will lie. Prajna paramita and no mind has no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Free from delusion, one dwells in nirvana. All Buddhas of the past, present, and future rely on prajna paramita and attain supreme light. Therefore know that prajna paramita is the great mantra, is the great enlightening mantra, is the unsurpassed and unequaled mantra. To eliminate all suffering, this is to not also proclaim the prajna paramita mantra, which says gone, gone, gone beyond, far beyond, now awaken, gate, gate, paragate. Parasamgate Bodhisvaha gate gate paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha gate gate paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Now you may wiggle your hands, fingers, stretch your palms, your arms, shoulders. This morning we are honored to welcome Reverend Doyeon from the Manhattan One Temple as our guest teacher. Reverend Doyeon is one of the most actively engaged 교무님 within One Buddhist community and beyond. She represents One Buddhism at the United Nations and co-chairs the Committee of Religious NGOs at UN. She also serves as the president of the Buddhist Council of New York. Recently, she played a key role as one of the main organizers of the ICCGC conference at the Church Center at the UN. So what is ICCGC? If you came last Sunday, you may remember that. But let's hear directly from Reverend Doyeon. Please join your palms together. Let us welcome her.
Good morning, everyone. Great. Okay. Okay, so yes, I was here last Sunday. And speaking of the change, I can definitely feel the changes here because I was sitting like one of you last Sunday with the most peaceful kind of calm state of mind. But at the same time, again, I was kind of holding this conference. So I was kind of making sure that everyone is having good time. So I was kind of checking everyone is doing well. And then Monday, Tuesday, we had this conference. The theme was the global action on peace, sustainability, and prosperity. Basically, we are bringing all peoples and organizations from different areas of our life for this theme of global peace and global education. So it was 2 days international interfaith conference. And again, yeah, I was a part of the community kind of team for that, which you may guess that, putting the international conference for 2 days, inviting around like 30 speakers was not that easy task, but I'm so glad that I was able to arrive here, spending this weekend with all of you in the theme of embracing change, which personally speaks a lot for me in this time of my life as well. So again, welcome, especially our local friends here. I think I come here a couple times a year, and I get this opportunity to share the practice with you all once or twice a year. So it's really nice to be here again. As you see, we're in the middle of this 4 days silent retreat, again, with the theme of embracing change, a resilience building meditation retreat. I thought this is really strong, powerful, inspiring topic. I asked once Ginger Kyomunim, wow, where did you get this topic? She was like, you did it. And I almost kind of forgot because I gave this topic early in the year. So I have to kind of come back to this theme, how I embrace changes in my life. So first, I want us to take a moment to reflect on this fundamental truth. The change is inevitable. I think everyone knows at some level. So no matter who we are, what we do, what we have, or what we don't have, life is full of ups and downs and twists and turns. So change is the one that is constant, we can rely on. We experience it firsthand, right? We see in nature, we see in our relationships, we see in times and space, we see in our careers and families, and in our own physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being as well, right? Once you feel physically, emotionally, spiritually, you feel really healthy and strong, but maybe the next day you feel a little weakness, something like that. So we all go through these changes. And let's get this clear. Some changes we welcome, right? Those things are aligned with our desires and go the way we want. If you get promotions in your work, probably that you are welcoming that changes. Well, maybe sometimes we have the opposite experience in our relationships. If you get the affection from the one that you love dearly, that's great. But, once we begin with the love relationships, sometimes it turned out to be the most hateful relationships as well. That's the reality, and vice versa. So again, we have the changes that we resist. And those are the one that doesn't really go as we planned or as we hoped. And these are the changes that can be difficult, uncomfortable, and challenging. Yet, it's often the very changes that challenges us the most, pushing us through this practice to learn and grow. And some of our retreat participants share that they are actually going through some changes in their lives. And I imagine the most of these are somewhat challenging ones. That's likely why you are here, seeking guidance and hoping that this practice can offer you some tools and directions to navigate these changes and the challenges. You see here, often we perceive changes as challenges. So when we say that changes are inevitable, another way we say challenges are inevitable. And this is what, from the Buddhist teaching, often we refer to the first noble truth, the truth of dukkha. There is dukkha, suffering, pain, discomfort, stress in our life. That's the first truth the Buddha talked about. So we are here simply to embrace those changes and learn how to cope with it. Embracing and accepting change is the really the most effective way to navigate life's ups and downs. But for some reason, whether it's out of delusion most of the time, out of fear, many of us choose to resist or avoid these challenges and changes in our life. And often this resisting and avoiding results in unnecessary stress, frustration, and sense of being stuck. So when you really think about it, resisting inevitable changes multiplies a lot of stress. But somehow, out of our habits, we unskillfully try to resist, avoid, pretend that's not really there because we don't want to deal with it. But in this practice, when you come to this place, this space, we're saying, let's face it. Because again, that is the only way that we can get out of that cycle. So for me, it is clear that embracing change is a better choice than resisting it. And ultimately, the choice is yours. I mean, I choose for myself whatever comes into my life, the changes, the challenges. With this support of the community and the practice, I try to see and face and embrace so that I can have some better response to that. Again, it is your choice. So English expression that captures this mindset perfectly, you all know that when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? So when challenges comes your way, we have the power to transform them into opportunities for growth and learning. Instead of resisting change, we can choose to again adopt, grow, and ultimately flourish because of these changes. And we just chanted from Iron Sangvao when we chant grace from harm, harm from grace. That applies the similar idea. Through our spiritual practice, we can turn adversity into blessings. But when we are mindless or deluded, if we act out of our unskillful habitual patterns, then we can just as easily turn blessings into adversities. So the practice plays that role in this present moment. Whatever comes into your life, it is up to us that we can make this grace from harm, harm from grace. But then I guess many of you already know, yes, change is inevitable. I see that. And a lot of people may ask, yes, I want to embrace changes, but how? I think that's the question. So here I would like to invite you to reflect on the principle of causality, to deepen our understanding of change, this impermanent nature of reality. This change and causality, these were deeply intertwined. I would say actually understanding causality can really help us embracing change more fully. Why is that? Change and causality. Simply put, changes are not random. Every change follows the principle of cause and effect. In fact, think about it. If change occurs randomly, out of blue all the time, our lives would be in constant chaos. Without this principle of causality, we would be trapped in a state of fear and anxiety, not knowing what's going to happen in the next moment. That will be a real chaos. But then change, again, is not random. It follows the principle of cause and effect, the causality. So I want us to reflect on this, because that's something that helped me a lot to really look into these changes and embrace the changes. And I'm sure also you all have some understanding of causality. Like, cause and effect, we see that. For every outcome, there is a cause or a set of causes and conditions. We say simply, if you plant the apple seed, you're gonna get the apple, not the peaches or watermelon. It's very clear. That's a very straightforward example, but it's not just about the cause. The conditions also matters, right? You plant the apple seed, but still we need good amount of sunlight, rains and winds and nutritions. So depending on the conditions, also the amount of we're harvesting the apple will be different. So when we say causality, there's cause and conditions and effects. So we need to be aware of these. So in the Buddhist teaching, this causality sometimes related to the teachings of karma. You may have heard the word karma. It's an action, but more specifically, it's intentional action. So whatever you put out through your words, through your thought, through your actions, you put out your intentional acts, there's a consequences. And then Sote-san put it beautifully in this way. Whatever you have received in this life, whether wholesome or unwholesome, is the result of your past actions. What you receive in the future will be a result of what you do in this life. This is the natural law of karma. The Buddhas and enlightened masters have awakened to their true nature and attained freedom of mind. So simply, Sote-san is putting this way, whatever you have in this life is coming from your past causes and conditions and the actions that you have done. And just by looking at what you're doing here at the moment, you can see actually your future. When things are going okay, well, like, wow, yeah, that's true. That's the truth, right? But when things are not really going well, even for me, I don't want to, no, it doesn't really sound quite right. Sometimes life is unfair. I don't deserve this unfairness when things are not going as I wish. So we have the same thing when reflecting this causality. Again, when things are going in our way, favorable way, we say, yes, causality. But in the opposite way, we have little different perceptions. There must be something wrong here. So we need to go deeper in that reflection. So for me personally, after 2 somewhat decades of contemplation, practice, and discipline in my own life experience, I've come to see causality much more clearly. And this deeper understanding and trust in causality helps me to get much more relief in my life. So now I can say I live with far less fear, less anxiety, and less confusion. I'm not saying I'm living this life with no fear, no anxiety. I do have fears and anxieties at times, but it's much less because of this understanding and because of this trust in the principle of causality. So having the right understanding of causality is crucial. And we need to kind of see and identify the correct causes for the desired effect. And we need to have the clear understanding what comes from where and what this is all about. But when we think about this, some causalities are somewhat clear. It's very obvious. And somewhat it happens immediately. You give nice smile to your neighbors, probably most of the time they will give us the smile back. But when you think about you do something for your spiritual or your personal growth, then you make efforts. Maybe 5 minutes everyday mindfulness practice. Maybe you exercise a little bit every day, but the result will come much later. It's not like one day you change your life with your one sitting meditation practice. So it depends on, the work. Some causalities are very clear and looking really in a short term, you can see the result, but some are not. So we have these both short-term and long-term causalities. So we can take the health as an example. We often hear it's very ideal. Everybody hears that you eat healthy, exercise, sleep well. That's overall make your good health. But we see maybe a lot of young people in their 20s, they don't care anything. They maybe drink heavily. They oversleep, overeat. They don't really do exercise at all, but still they feel de-energized. They feel fine and energized. Does that mean their unhealthy habits have no impact? Maybe in their 20s, lucky for them, but it's coming, right? We all know that it's coming. So again, everything has the consequences. So just because we don't see this immediate result doesn't mean causality is not at play. When I was in first grade in Korea, maybe 7 years old, I went to a local sanitary store after my school one day, and the owner greeted me by my name. And I was shocked. And I thought, how does he know my name? Did he overhear my friend calling my name? Or I was really, as a young girl, how did he know my name? It's weird. It was so weird. And I went back home. I told my mom, out of this kind of wonder, you know what? This guy at a sanitary store, he knew my name. I don't know why. And my mom was like, laughed and pointed to my name tag on my chest. As a first grade student in Korea at that time, we usually have our name tags, right? And I kind of forgot to take it off. I'm like, oh, yes. He could read Korean, so he was like being friendly, just calling my name. I'm like, oh. That is a really simple thing, right? But then somehow that really stuck into my mind. Because the moment before I realized I had my name tag here, I really thought he has some power. Somehow he knew my name. That was so weird. But then so obvious, right? And I had something similar happened when I was a novice in novice training at a temple in Korea. Sometimes I would see my 교무님, my mentor teacher, counseling our members and telling them how certain things would play out. And the most of the time, things happened just as she had said. And I remember thinking to my teacher, is she a fortune teller or what? How does she say the things that is pretty much kind of correct for people's lives? And one day I asked her, how do you know all these things, right? Should I ask my future to her, right? But then she was very simple, she was like, if you just see people's action, this present moment, you can usually tell what's likely to happen next. And because of this causality, you can see the result based on how a person speaks, acts, and thinks. So when I heard that, of course, I've been listening and hearing a lot of Dharma talks about this causality. That makes sense. And indeed, now I see that. And I have the same experience with just like my teacher. Whenever I have some conversation with our members, usually, when often people come and out of anxiety and not knowing what to do, people worry about their future. And I'm like one having a cup of tea and saying, don't worry, things gonna be okay. But then often they take it, oh, she's just saying that, it has no meanings. But no, you know why? Because I know this person is diligent. This person is doing all the hard work. That's why I can say, you don't really need to worry about your future because I see you are doing your best. Well, it's not going to be technically happen everything for their favorite ways, but in principle, we see that. So the famous Buddhist words from the Dharmapada, speak or act with a corrupted mind and suffering follows, as the wagon wheel follows the hoof of the ox. Speak or act with a peaceful mind and happiness follows like a never departing shadow. This simple teaching, a lot of teachers says the same thing. Our second Dharma master would say, put it this way, if the mind is, Sotya-san, our founding teacher, if the mind is wholesome, everything wholesome arises along with it. If the mind is unwholesome, everything unwholesome arises along with it. So if we see how this changes, and when we see the change, if we can see the underlying principle of causality, we may get some directions for that. So a lot of people ask, how do I embrace changes? Probably we need to take some time to reflect on this causality. And in order for us to see this, first we need to set our mind, clear our mind, so that we can have a clear view. And this retreat is maybe the way. It's giving us that space for us to see that clearly. So we want to remember, again, this corrupted mind brings this suffering. Peaceful mind brings the happiness, not the other way around. So let's get clear this. And the reason we can cope with the constant changes in life is, again, nothing is random. This change happens with this underlying principle of causality. So hopefully we take some time and we reflect and contemplate on this and find better ways to deal with whatever life brings to us. If it's a lemon, we will make a lemonade, right? So everything that we receive in this life, our practice is this present moment with our mindful, conscious choice in our action, that we are making progress and making this life more joyful. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you so much for your insightful talk. So changes doesn't come randomly. That's stuck in my mind. So embracing changes means embracing the impermanence, the truth of impermanence, and also it means to embrace the truth of the principle of cause and effect. Maybe the word coincident is not a truthful word anymore. So a lot to chew in it. So thank you again for your talk. Please turn your chanting booklet, page 6. Let us recite essential dharmas of daily practice. Patty will guide us with reading this. One.
The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. 2. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. 3. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the precepts of our true nature by letting go of wrongdoings. 4. Let us replace disbelief, greed, laziness, and ignorance with belief, zeal, questioning, and dedication. 5. Let us turn resentment into gratitude. 6. Let us turn dependency into self-reliance. 7. Let us turn reluctance to learn into willingness to learn well. 8. Let us turn reluctance to teach into willingness to teach well. 9. Let us turn lack of public into eagerness to serve the good of all.
Our friend Helen Alford's husband, Dick Alford, is scheduled to have surgery on September 5th. So I ask that you dedicate the merit of your practice this morning to pray for successful surgery and a smooth recovery for Dick Alford. Please join your palms together. Let us offer silent prayer. Thank you for your prayer. Now Kathy has announcements to share.
There are 3 announcements. The first one is there is Reverend Yu, our retreat director, is offering and Dr. Reverend Butley is offering a online course through the Won Institute of Graduate Studies. So this will be held every Tuesday night from September 17th. And this, if you want to know more about Won Buddhism, you can join this class, and the information is online as well. And there are scholarships available for this class. Then there is, on September 15th, we have, after service, we will have an outdoor music concert. So please join us for this. This is always a lovely event. And if you, we're going to have potluck. So if you're local and you want to come and bring some potluck, please let one of us know. So September 15th, 12:30, following service, Sunday service.
So please join the service first and stay tuned.
Yes, please come to service.
The music.
And then there is one more retreat, which is also online. You can register online. And this is called Coming Home, Awakening to Awareness. And this is October 2nd. So this is, there's flyers in the foyer, but also you can find us online. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And to our local friends, each time we hold this silent retreat, I really deeply appreciate your observance to this noble silence as you leave. And I'll see you next Sunday. And for the retreat participants, this afternoon's program is exactly the same as the yesterday, except for the evening one. So instead of nature walk, we'll have chanting meditation practice at 7 p.m. Let's sing the morning prayer song, page 7. Dharma Kaya Buddha fourfold grace, I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind, may I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharma Kaya Buddha fourfold grace, I begin a new day with your grace. Today gratefully and and with gentle words. May I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharma Kaya Buddha fourfold grace. I begin a new day with compassion. Today, making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for one world. This concludes our morning practice. Thank you all. All the mats go back to the closet. And please kindly, like Susie, collect the booklets. Thank you.